Good morning, good morning, and happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. Let me apologize right off the rip for last Friday's episode. There clearly was some issues with my mic. It appears that I actually didn't have it located in the right spot because, as you all know, I talk with my hands a lot and things move around. So there it is. My apologies, my apologies, my apologies. You also know that on last Friday, I shared with you that I was going to come prepared for many of the episodes with my notes. So if I look down, you might see me picking up something that I actually want to put down. So hopefully you will be picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so for today's episode, I'm really excited to share this with you. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. You all know that when I started the podcast, I shared some things about my past. I have shared over the time of the podcast some things about my present or things as they're progressing in my life. But you know that one of the things that is really near and dear to my heart are healthy relationships. And so many of us believe that we have an idea of what one of those involves, or shall I say, what one of those consists of. But we often forget to look at ourselves and what it is that we're doing to add to the creation of a healthy relationship. Because remember, there are times in which the relationship may need some growth. And if the two people who enter the relationship are not positive about how to create this growth for healthiness, then that is where the issues come in. So let's talk for a few minutes about how it is that we do that, how it is that we create healthy relationships. So, one, we are going to begin with respect. If you are seeking to have a healthy relationship, then you are going to begin with a foundation that is built upon respect. I know you thought I was going to say love, but when you first enter a relationship, you are not necessarily in love. So let's begin with our first layer, our foundation being built upon respect. And when we say respect, it's more than just being polite to your person. It is much more. It is understanding their boundaries, any boundaries that they have created that allow them to still feel like an individual or to allow them to see your relationship to flourish. We are going to respect those boundaries. We are going to respect the differences. So many times when people are looking to start a relationship, they were looking to find someone whose mindset is identical to theirs. I am telling you today that is not a requirement. Yes, you should have some similarities about how you want to raise children if you are planning to have a family. Yes, you want to have morals that are similar. Absolutely. But does your entire mindset have to be 100% identical? Absolutely not. You should embrace the differences and thought processes that your person brings to the table. It only allows you to grow both individually and as a couple. Think about it. If your person has a strength and something, yet you do not, utilize it. Utilize it. And when you have your conversations, don't dismiss their difference. Do not dismiss their difference. Embrace it because it could actually elevate this direction or the journey that the two of you are on. Respect their time. I say this all the time to people. Respect their time. When someone makes time for you, that means they are making you a priority. Don't take that for granted. Do not take that for granted. When someone is giving up their time to you, that says you are important to them. You are a priority. So do not, I repeat, do not take it for granted. Respect their identity. Respect who it is that they are as a person. Respect that. Know that, yes, while you are in a relationship, there are things about your relationship that are growing. Your identity as a couple is growing because you're working together. But also respect the fact that your person, your partner, came into the relationship with an identity that was just theirs. It is those things in that identity of that person that more than likely attracted you to them. So if that were the case, please respect it and don't expect for them to change. Allow them to be who it is that they are, who they entered that relationship as. Trust and honesty. Now, y'all know we've talked about this before. We have talked about this on more than one occasion. Without trust, whoo, without trust, a relationship of any kind is not going to work. It is not going to be long lasting. And I know you're saying, oh, Doc, that sounds bad. But honestly, it is not necessarily bad, because if you cannot trust your person, then that means that's not the person for you. So there is a lesson to be learned when there is trust lacking. Learn how to move forward, or shall I say, learn how to move on. I know y'all say it all the time, Doc, you give people plenty of chances. But I have been learning, because as you know, I too am a work in progress. I too am growing. I am saying to you, if the trust doesn't exist, if your person isn't being honest with you, then a few things might be happening. They may feel that there's not a safe space for them to actually be honest with you. They're not actually hiding something, but they're not giving you the entire truth, the whole truth. They may be afraid to share something with you. So, one of the things that we could do for our person is to make sure that we create a safe space so that when they need to talk to us about something, it doesn't matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we have created a space that allows them to be honest. Now, if they are being intentionally dishonest and intentionally breaking your trust, then yes, I am a firm believer that that is not your person, and we should allow whoever that is to have an opportunity to actually find their person. And please get out of my way, because my person is looking for me, and vice versa. Your person might be looking for you, but please make an exit. Make a pretty quick exit if I'm not able to trust you with being honest. But on the flip side, we need to create a safe space for them. Next, we need to have clear communication. So many people say, oh, I was talking to them, or I know they heard me. And they may have. But were you clearly communicating what you truly meant? And did you ask some clarifying questions? I do that all the time. If I don't understand something that you're saying to me, maybe you weren't clear, or maybe I just simply didn't understand it, and I needed to ask you to say, well, what did you mean by? Or when you said, could you tell me more about that? Or I don't understand. Because clear communication is a two-way street. Yes, your person may be trying to tell you something, but it's how you receive it that could cause an issue in the relationship. So you want to make sure, that both people are being clear in their communication, being clear. And I encourage you to do this. I encourage you that if you do not agree with what your person is saying, do not make it a point of contention. Do not make it into an argument. Take the time to sit back, receive it, and sometimes we need to process what we have received. Sometimes you may have to table that discussion. Sometimes you may have to agree to disagree. But in all of those moments, in each of those moments, you are going to choose to be clear in what you are communicating to make sure that your person is understanding what you're wanting them to know. Because misunderstandings when we're communicating often leads to disagreements, often leads to an argument that we didn't necessarily need to have. So be clear in your communication. Make sure they understand. And if you, as the other person, does not understand, ask clarifying questions. I touched on this just a second. The next thing that we need is to know how to have healthy conflict. You're not always going to agree. You simply are not. And trust me, it is okay. So many people think that we have to agree with our person all of the time, every single day. We don't. But we have to know how to communicate that. We have to know how to tell our person that we may not agree. We also have to know how to resolve this conflict. How to resolve it. Are we talking this through? Are we compromising? Are we working on this together? What is your solution? All of your solutions to healthy conflict should involve things like talking it through, writing down maybe your pros and your cons. Again, like I said earlier, you may table it for a while. You may agree to disagree, but each of those choices are going to be healthy. There shouldn't be any raised voices. There should not be any profanity. There should definitely not be any physicality. Any of those things are not healthy. So when you resolve your conflict, make sure that you're making a healthy choice. Now, the last two things I want to hit on very quickly are mutual effort. Mutual effort. A relationship is not going to last for the long term, or as some of us say, for the long haul, if only one of you is making an effort. If only one of you is making an effort, you have almost guaranteed that your relationship will not last for the long term. And for those of you who talk to me on a regular basis, I know that you're looking for the long term. So if indeed that is true, you're going to both work on it. You're going to work together. Mutual effort. Mutual effort. And the very last thing I want you to remember is this: leave room for individual growth. Remember what I said? I said that we all enter the relationship as individuals. We are going to have differences from our person, but do not stifle that person's individual growth, because the more they make progress as an individual, positive growth and progress, it bleeds over into your relationship. And just know this: that is an absolute beautiful thing, to watch your person grow as a person, as an individual, and then bring that positivity back into your relationship. Let me tell you, the absolute sky is the limit when we do those things. So I challenge you today. My challenge to you today is to make sure you begin with respect. You begin with that respect. And if we do all of these things, all 6 of these things that we talked about today, what happens? Y'all already know. Love is going to win, honey. Love is going to win. Do those things. I challenge you. I challenge you. I challenge you. And as always, let love win. Let love win. Because I am telling you, if you have not been able to tell by my face, my expressions, honey, Dr. Tammy is letting love win. Please do the same. Please do the same. Let love win. Reach out to me if you need me. If you need my books or my services, you already know how. Much love to you. Much love, much love. Happy Friday. See you next time.